In one moment, live, Act One of The Member of the Wedding.
You know, it seems to me like this old arbor has shrunk. I remember when I was a child, it used to seem absolutely enormous. You know, when I was Frankie's age, I had a fine swing here. You remember, Papa?
Well, it don't seem so absolutely enormous to me. I've grown almost 6 inches in the last 6 months.
I never saw a human grow so fast in all my life. I think maybe we ought to tie a brick to your head.
Jarvis, don't!
Jarvis, don't tease your little sister. I don't think Frankie's too tall. She probably won't grow much more. I had the biggest portion of my growth by the time I was 13.
But I'm just 12. When I think about all the growing years ahead of me, I get scared.
I wouldn't worry.
Let me help.
Now here, them 2 drinks of lemonade for you and John Henry, and the rest of them got liquor in them.
Janice, you come and sit down on the arbor seat. Jarvis, you sit down too. It was such a surprise when Jarvis wrote home that you were going to be married.
Well, I hope it wasn't a bad surprise.
Oh, heavens, no. As a matter of fact, if only you knew how I feel.
Frankie's been bending my ears ever since your letter came, Jarvis. She's been going on about brides and grooms and weddings, etc.
It's lovely that we can be married at Jarvis's home.
Well, that's the way to feel, Janice. Marriage is, well, it's a sacred institution.
Oh, it will be beautiful.
Pretty soon we'll be shoving off for Winter Hill. I'll be back in barracks tonight.
Winter Hill is such a lovely, cold name. It reminds me of ice and snow.
Well, you know it's just 100 miles away, darling.
Ice and snow indeed. You know, yesterday the temperature on that parade ground reached 102.
Oh.
That feels so good. Thanks, darling.
I wrote you so many letters, Jarvis, and you never would answer me. When you were stationed in Alaska, I wanted so much to hear about Alaska. I sent you so many boxes of homemade candy, and you never answered me.
Oh, Frankie, you know how it is.
You know, this lemonade tastes funny. Kind of sharp and hot. I believe I got the drinks mixed up.
No, I was just thinking my drink tasted mighty sissy. It was just plain lemonade. There's no liquor in it at all. Oh, this is better.
I drank a lot. I wonder if I'm drunk. It makes me feel like I had 4 legs instead of 2. Well, I think I'm drunk. Look, Papa, how drunk I am.
Where does that music come from? It sounds so close.
It is, right over there. They have club meetings and parties with boys on Friday nights. I watch them from the yard.
It must be nice having your clubhouse so near.
Well, I'm not a member now. But they're holding an election this afternoon, and maybe I'll be elected. Here comes Mama.
Oh, hello, Pet. You're just in time to meet our newest family member.
I saw you out here from the window.
Hi, Aunt Pet. How's Uncle Eustace?
Oh, he's at the office.
Yeah, as usual.
Look, Aunt Pet. May I call you Aunt Pet?
Why, of course, Janice. Oh, what a gorgeous ring.
Jarvis gave it to me this morning. He wanted to consult his father and get it from his store, naturally.
It's lovely.
Well, it's a 1/4 carat. It's not too flashy, but that's a good stone.
Bernice, what have you and Frankie been doing to my John Henry? He sticks over here in your kitchen morning, noon, and night.
He enjoys him. And Candy seems to like it over here.
What on earth do you do to him?
Talk, pass the time of day. Occasionally we play his cards.
Well, if he gets in your way, you just shoo him on home.
Candy don't bother nobody.
These grapes are so squelchy when I step on them.
Run home, darling, and wash your feet and put on your sandals.
I like to squelch on the grapes.
That looks like a stage curtain. Jarvis told me how you used to write plays and act them out here in the arbor. What kind of shows did you have?
Oh, I had crook shows and cowboy shows. This summer I had some cold shows about Eskimos and explorers on account of the hot weather.
Do you ever have romances?
Nah, I had crook shows for the most part. You see, I never believed in love until now.
Frankie and this little friend of hers gave a performance at the Vagabond King out here last spring.
Never hope to buy me, never hope to know. Frankie was the king boy. I sold the tickets.
Yes, I've always said that Frankie has talent.
No, I'm afraid I don't have much talent. Frankie can act and kill people good. She can die, too. Well, yeah. Well, I guess I die all right.
Frankie rounds up John Henry and those younger children, but by the time she dresses them in a costume, they're so worn out they won't act in the play.
Well, we better be shoving off for Winter Hill. Frankie's land of icebergs and snow where the temperature gets up to 102. Boy, it carries me back. Smell of mashed grapes and dust. I can remember all the endless summer afternoons of my childhood. Boy, it does carry me back.
Oh, me, too. It carries me back, too.
Merciful heaven, seems I've got two Methuselahs in my family. To carry you back to your childhood, too, John Henry?
Yes, Uncle Oil.
Son, this visit's been a real pleasure.
Thanks, Pop.
Janice, I'm so happy to see that my son has such lucky judgment choosing a wife.
I hate to think you have to go. I'm just now realizing you're here.
We'll be back in 2 days. Wedding Sunday.
Frankie was drunk. She drank a liquor drink.
She just made out like she was drunk. Pretended.
She said, look, Papa, how drunk I am. And she couldn't walk. They're going down to Winter Hill. I can't understand it. The way it all just suddenly happened.
Happened? Happened?
I have never been so puzzled.
How's about what?
The whole thing. They are so beautiful.
I believe the sun done fried your brain.
Me too.
You look here at me. You jealous.
Jealous?
Jealous because your brother's gonna get married tomorrow.
No. Well, I just never saw any two like them. When they walked in the house today, it was so queer.
You jealous? Go behold yourself in the mirror. I can see from the color of your eyes.
Oh, they were the two prettiest people I ever saw. I just can't understand how it happened.
What ails you, talking so queer?
I don't know. I'll bet they have a good time every minute of the day. Let's us have a good time. Us have a good time? Us?
Come on, let's have a game of three-handed bridge.
Oregon, Alaska, Winter Hill, the wedding. It's all so queer.
I can't bid. Never have a hand these days.
Spade. I wanted to bid spades. That's what I was going to bid. Well, that's your tough luck. I bid him first. Oh, you fool, jackass. It's not fair.
Here. Now, hush, Paul, and you two. Tell the truth, I can't see where either one of you got such a grand hand to fight over the bid about. Where's the cards? I haven't had no kind of hand all week.
I don't give a darn about it. It is immaterial with me. Let's talk about them and the wedding.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
My heart feels them going away. Going farther and farther away while I'm stuck here by myself.
You ain't here by yourself. By the way, where's your pa?
He went to the stall. I think of them, but I remember more as a feeling than as a picture.
A feeling?
They were the two prettiest people I ever saw. Yet it was like I couldn't see all of them I wanted to see. My brains couldn't gather together quick enough to take it all in. And then they were gone.
Well, stop commenting about it. You ain't got your mind on the game.
and you got a spade. I got some of my mind on the game. Well, go on, Cheetah.
Make haste.
I can't. It's a king. The only spade I got is a king. And I don't want to play my king on Frankie's ace, and I'm not going to do it either.
See, Bernice, he cheats.
Play your king, John Henry. You got to follow the rules of the game.
My king, it isn't fair.
Oh, where's the cards? For 3 days, I haven't had a decent hand. I'm beginning to suspicion something. Come on. Let's just count these old cards.
Oh, we've worn these old cards out. If you were to eat these cards, they would taste like a combination of all the dinners of this summer, together with a sweaty-handed, nasty taste. Why, all the jacks and the queens are missing.
John Henry, now how come you do a thing like that? So that's why you asked for the scissors and stole out so quiet behind the arbor. Now, Candy, how come you took out playing cards and cut out all the pictures?
Because I wanted them. They're cute.
See? He's nothing but a child. It's hopeless. Hopeless.
Well, maybe so.
Well, we'll just have to put him out of the game. He's entirely too young.
Now, we can't put Candy out the game. We got to have a third to play. Besides, at the last count, he owed me close to $3 million.
Oh, I am sick unto death. I wish they'd taken me with them to Winter Hill this afternoon. I wish tomorrow was Sunday instead of Saturday.
Well, Sunday will come.
I doubt it. I wish I was going somewhere for good. I wish I had $100 and could just light out and never see this town again.
You wish for a lot of things.
I wish I was somebody else except me.
You serious? You gave the doll a while ago?
It gives me a pain just to think about them.
Yeah, it's a known truth. Gray-eyed people are jealous.
Look, those big girls.
Oh! Hey there! I'm mighty glad to see you. Come on in.
We can't. We're just passing through to notify a new member.
Am I the new member?
No, you're not the one the club elected.
Not elected.
Every bout was unanimous for Mary Littlejohn.
Mary Littlejohn? You mean that girl that just moved in next door? The pasty fat girl with the tacky pigtails? The one who plays the piano all day long?
Yes, the club unanimously elected Mary.
Why, she's not even cute.
She is too, and furthermore, she's talented.
Well, I think it's sissy to sit around the house all day playing classical music.
Why, Mary is training for a concert career.
Well, I wish to Jesus she were trained somewhere else.
You don't have enough sense to appreciate a talented girl like Mary.
What are you doing in my yard? You're never to set foot on my papa's property again. Son of a bitches! I can shoot you all with my papa's pistol. Son of a bitches! Why didn't you elect me? Why can't I be a member?
Maybe they'll change their mind and invite you.
Well, I wouldn't pay no mind if I was you. All my life, I've been wanting things I ain't getting. Anyhow, them club girls are fully 2 years older than you.
I think they've been spreading it all over town that I smell bad. When I had those boils and had to use that black bitter smelling ointment, old Helen Fletcher asked me what was that funny smell I had. Or I could shoot every one of them with a pistol.
I don't think you smell so bad. You smell sweet, like 100 flowers.
Son of a bitches. And there was something else. They were telling nasty lies about married people. I don't know what kind of a fool they take me for.
Well, like I said, they're too old for you.
Boy, I'll bet I use more perfume than anybody else in town. You want some on you, Bernice? You want some, John Henry?
Like 1,000 flowers.
Frankie, the whole idea of a club is that there are members who are included and the non-members who are not included. Now, what you ought to do is to round you up a club of your own, and then you can be the president yourself.
Well, who would I get?
You get all the little children are here playing in the neighborhood.
Oh, I don't want to be the president of all those little young leftover people.
Well, then enjoy your misery. Perfume smells so strong, make me sick.
I bet Janice and Jarvis are members of a lot of clubs. In fact, the Army's kind of like a club.
John Henry, don't root through my pocketbook like that. Ain't a wise policy to search other folks' pocketbook. They might think you're trying to steal the money.
I'm looking for a new glass eye. Here it is.
You know, I ain't got used to it yet. The socket bothers me. It don't fit properly.
The new glass eye looks very cute.
I don't see why you had to get that eye. It has a wrong expression.
Anybody ask your judgment, wise mouth?
Which one of your eyes do you say the best?
Left eye, of course. The glass eye don't do me no seeing good at all.
I like the glass eye better. It's so bright and shiny. A real pretty eye. Frankie, you serious you gave me this doll a while ago?
Janice and Jarvis. It gives me this pain just to think about them.
It's a known truth. Gray-eyed people are jealous.
I told you I wasn't jealous. I couldn't be jealous of one of them without being jealous of both of them. I associate the two of them together. Somehow they're just so different from us.
Well, I was jealous once. When my foster brother, Honey, married Chlorina. I sent a warning to Chlorina, I'd tear the ears off her head. But you see, it didn't. Chlorina got ears like anybody else, and they all love her.
J.A. Janice and Jarvis. Isn't that the strangest thing?
What?
Well, J.A. Both their names begin with J.A.
And what about it?
If only my name was Jane. Jane or Jasmine.
I don't follow your frame of mind.
Jarvis and Janice and Jasmine, see?
No, I don't see.
I wonder if it's against the law to change your name. Or add to it.
Naturally. It's against the law.
Well, I don't care. F. Jasmine Addams.
You serious you gave me this? I will name her Belle.
I don't know what went on in Jarvis's mind when he brought me that doll. Imagine bringing me a doll. I was counting on him bringing me something from Alaska.
Your face when you unwrapped that package was a study.
John Henry, quit picking at that doll's eyes. You make me nervous. You hear me? In fact, take that doll somewhere out of my sight.
Her name is Lily Belle.
The big mistake I made was to get this close crew cut. For the wedding, I ought to have long brunette hair. Don't you think so?
I don't see how come brunette hair is so necessary, but I warned you before you shaved your hair off like that not to do it. But nothing would do but you shave it like that.
Lily Belle's taking a nap on the back steps, so don't talk so loud, Frankie.
Do you think I'll be pretty?
Maybe. If you file down them horns an inch or two.
Seriously.
Seriously, I think when you fill out, you're going to do very well. If you behave.
But by Sunday, I want to do something to improve myself before the wedding.
Well, get clean for a change. Scrub them elbows. Fix yourself up nicely. Do very well.
You'll be all right if you fall down them horns.
I don't know what to do. I just wish I could die.
Well, die then.
Die.
Go home! You heard me? Go home! I'm sick and tired of you, you little midget!
Whatever ails you? You're too mean to live.
I know it. Something about John Henry just gets on my nerves these days. I got a splinter in my foot.
Well, that thing for a splinter.
It seems to me that before this summer, I always used to have such a good time. Remember this spring when me and Evelyn Owen used to dress up in costumes and go downtown and shop at the Five and Dime? And how every Friday night we'd spend the night with each other, either at her house or here. And then Evelyn Owen had to go and move away to Florida. And now she won't even write to me.
Now, honey, you ain't crying, is you? Don't that hurt none?
It would hurt anybody else except me. And how the wisteria in town was so blue and pretty in April. But somehow it was so pretty it made me sad. And how me and Evelyn put on that show that the Glee Club did at the high school auditorium. Sons of toil and danger, will you serve a stranger and bow down to Burgundy?
That was a nice show you children copied in the arbor. You'll meet another girlfriend you like as well as ever known. Maybe they'll move back to town. Frankie, what you need is a needle.
I don't care anything about my old feet. It was just so queer the way it all happened this afternoon. The minute I laid eyes on the pair of them, I had this funny feeling. How old are you, Bernice, when you married your first husband?
I was 13 years old.
You never loved any of your 4 husbands but Ludi.
Ludi Maxwell Freeman was my only true husband. The others were just scraps.
Did you marry with a veil every time?
3 times with a veil.
If only I knew where Charles was gone.
You done seen the last of that old alley cat?
I had to notify the police. I'm sure they'll be able to find Charles.
Here, I wouldn't do that.
I'd like the police force, please. Police force? I'm notifying you about my cat. Cat. He's lost. He's almost pure Persian.
As Persian as I is.
He answers to the name of Charles, but if he don't answer to that, he might come if you call Charlena. My name is Miss F. Jasmine Addams, and the address is 124 Grove Street.
Yeah, they're going to come around here one day and tie you up and drag you off to Milledgeville. Picture them fat blue policemen chasing tomcats all around Alice. And oh, Charles. Oh, come here, Charlena. Oh, merciful heavens.
Oh, shut up.
The trouble with you is you ain't got no sense of humor no more.
Maybe I'd be better off in jail. Here comes the old vegetable lady.
This Laura's getting mighty old to peddling this hot weather. How's this, Laura? How's your folks?
Oh, we ain't much. I'm feeling my age these days. You want any peas?
Sorry, I have some left over from yesterday. Goodbye, Sis Laura.
Goodbye. Oh, please. Peas. Fresh butter beans.
I expect Janice and Jarvis are almost to Winter Hill by now. Jarvis talked about Granny. He remembers her very good. But whenever I try to remember Granny, it's like her face is changing, like a face seen underwater. Jarvis remembers Mother, too, and I don't remember her at all.
Well, naturally. Your mother died the day you were born.
Did you hear what Jarvis said?
Hey, what?
They were talking about whether to vote for C.P. McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
and Jarvis said, "Why, I wouldn't vote for that scoundrel if he was wanting to be dog catcher." I I have never heard anything so witty in all my life. And you know what Janice remarked? When Jarvis mentioned about how much I've grown, she said she didn't think I looked so terribly big. She said she got the major portion of her growth before she was 13. She said she thought I was the right height and had acting talent and ought to go to Hollywood. Well, she did, Bernice.
Okay. All right, she did.
She said she thought I was a lovely size, would probably not grow any taller. She said that all fashion models and movie stars...
She did not. I heard her from the window. She only remarked how she thought you had got your full growth. But she did not go on and on like that and mention no Hollywood.
But she said to me that
she said to you... Now, Frankie, this is a serious fault. Somebody makes a loose remark and you closing it up in your mind till nobody would recognize it. Your Aunt Pet having to mention to Chlorina that she thought you had sweet manners, and Chlorina passed it on to you for what it was worth. Then next thing I know, you're going around town bragging how Mrs. West said you had the finest manners in town and ought to go to Hollywood. And I don't know what all you didn't say. That's a serious fault.
Well, quit preaching at me.
Well, no, I ain't preaching. It's just the solemn truth, and you know it.
Well, I admit it a little. What I need to know is this. Do you think I made a good impression?
Impression?
Yes.
Well, how would I know?
Well, I mean, how did I act? What did I do?
You do nothing to speak of.
Nothing?
Well, you watched the pair of them like they were ghosts. Then when they started talking about the wedding, them little ears of yours stiffened out the size of cabbage leaves.
They didn't.
They did.
Someday you're going to look down and find that big fat tongue of yours pulled out by the roots and laying there before you on the table.
Now here, you quit talking so rude.
I'm so scared I didn't make a good impression.
What of it? I got a date with T.T. I wish him and Honey would come home. You make me nervous. Come on now. Don't act like that.
They were so pretty. They must have a good time every minute. And then they went away and left me.
Now sit up. Sit up here now. Just behave yourself.
They came and went away and left me with this feeling.
Oh, see. I bet I know something. Frankie's got a crush. Frankie's got a crush. Frankie's got a crush on the web.
Quit!
Frankie's got a crush. Frankie's got a crush.
You better
quit! Now you lay down that knife.
Make me.
Lay it down, devil. You just throw it. You just.
I used to be the best knife thrower in this town.
You know, Francis Addams, you're going to try that stunt once too often.
I warned you to quit picking with me.
You ain't fit to live in a house.
Well, I ain't gonna be living in this one much longer.
And good riddance to a big old bag of rubbish.
You wait and see. I'm leaving town.
Now, where do you think you're going?
I don't know.
You're going crazy. That's where you're going.
No. This coming Sunday after the wedding, I'm leaving town. And I swear to Jesus by my two eyes, I'm never coming back here again.
Sugar, you serious?
Of course. Do you think I would stand here and say that swear and tell a story? Sometimes, Bernice, I think it takes you longer to realize a fact than any other person who ever lived.
But you say you don't know where you're going. You're going, but you don't know where. That don't make no sense to me.
I feel just exactly like somebody's peeled all the skin off me. I wish I had some good cold peach ice cream. But every word I said's the solemn truth. I'm leaving here after the wedding.
Yeah, hello, T.T. I didn't see you coming.
You and Frankie too busy discussing something. Well, your foster brother, Honey, got into a ruckus. Stand on the sidewalk in front of the Blue Moon Cafe. Police cracked him on the head.
Yeah. Oh, it's a welt the size of a small egg.
You know, it's times like this I feel like I gotta just bust loose or die.
What were you doing?
Nothing.
Touch him on your horns, honey.
Now. Don't you mess with my horn, Butch. See, I was just passing along the street, minding my own business, when this drunk soldier come out the Blue Moon Cafe, and he ran into me. I looked at him, and he pushed me. Well, I pushed him back, and then he started a ruckus. This white MP comes along and slams me with his stick.
One of those accidents can happen to any colored person.
I told you not to mess with my horn, but look at it. Now you got it all full of slobber inside and out, and now it is ruined.
Satan, don't you touch that little boy. I'll stomp out your brains.
Oh, you ain't mad because John Henry's a little boy. It's because he's a white boy. John Henry knows he needs a good shake, now don't you, Butch?
Henry, no good.
Hey, wait a minute. Well, which would you rather have? Now, would you rather have the nigger money or the white money?
I'd rather have a dime. Much obliged.
You troubling deep down. You're trying to take it out on that little boy. You and Frankie just alike. The club girls don't elect her, and she tried to take it out on John Henry, too. When people feel lonesome and left out, now, sometimes they turn so mean. T.T., would you wish a small little quickie before we go?
Mm-hmm. Frankie ain't no tattletale, is you?
That sure is a cute suit you got on, honey. Today I heard somebody speak of you as Lightfoot Brown. Oh, I think that's such a grand nickname. It's on account of your traveling to Harlem and all the different places where you run away and you're dancing. Lightfoot. I wish somebody would call me Lightfoot Addams.
Suit me better. They call Honey Brick Feet. Keeps me so worried. Now, come on here. Let's go. Now, Frankie, you forget all that foolishness now, you hear? We were discussing. And if Mr. Addams don't come home by a good dark, you run on over to the west. Play with John Henry.
So long, y'all.
So now.
Since when have I been scared of the dark?
What?
Well, I'll invite John Henry to spend the night with me.
I thought you was sick and tired of him.
I am.
Here, come here, baby. Good night, sugar. Come on, honey, T.T., let's go.
Seems like everybody goes off and leaves me. John Henry! John Henry!
What do you want, Frankie?
Come over and spend the night with me.
I can't.
Why?
Just because.
Because what? I thought maybe me and you could put up my Indian teepee and sleep out here in the yard and have a good time. Sure enough, why do you stay and spend the night?
Because, Frankie, I don't want to.
Fool jackass, suit yourself. I only asked you because you look so ugly and so lonesome.
What? I'm not a bit lonesome.
I wonder when that pop of mine's coming home. He always comes home by dark. I don't want to go into that empty, ugly house all by myself.
Me neither.
I think something is wrong. It's too quiet. I have a peculiar warning in my bones. I bet you $100 it's going to storm.
I don't want to spend a night with you.
A terrible, terrible dog day storm. Or maybe even a cyclone.
Huh?
I expect Janice and Jarvis are now at Winter Hill. I see him just as plain as I see you. Plainer. Something is wrong. It is too quiet. Frankie! Shh! Sounds like honey. He stopped to bang the spit out of his horn. He'll be starting up again in a minute. Please, honey. Go on and finish.
He done quit now.
I told Bernice that I was leaving town for good. She did not believe me. Sometimes I honestly think she's the biggest fool that ever drew breath.
Frankie?
You try to impress something on a big fool like that, and it's just like talking to a block of cement. I kept on telling her and telling her and telling her. I told her I had to leave this town for good because it is inevitable. Inevitable.
Frankie?
Yes, Papa?
You had your supper?
I'm not hungry.
Well, it's a little later than I intended. Fixing a timepiece for a railroad man. You stay in the yard now.
You want him to get the weekend bad?
Don't bother me, John Henry. I'm thinking.
What you thinking about?
About the wedding. About my brother and the bride. Everything's been so sudden today. I never believed before about the fact that the earth turns at the rate of 1,000 miles a day. I didn't understand why it was that if you jumped up in the air, you would land in Selma or Fairview or somewhere else instead of the same backyard. But now it seems to me I feel the world turning around very fast. I feel it spinning and it makes me dizzy.
I'll stand spinning out with you.
Well, no. Just now I thought of something.
Why, you just a little while ago was begging me.
I know where I'm going.
Where?
This coming Sunday after the wedding, I'm going off with him to Winter Hill. I'm going off with him after the wedding.
You serious?
Shh. Just now I realized something. The trouble with me is that for a long time, I've been an I person. All other people can say we. When Bernice says we, she means her church and lodge and colored people. Soldiers can say we and mean the army. All people belong to a we except me.
What are we going to do?
Not to belong to a we makes you too lonesome. Until this afternoon, well, I didn't have a we. But now after seeing my brother and the bride, I suddenly realized something.
What?
I know now that the two of them are the we of me. So I'm going off with them and joining with the wedding. This coming Sunday when Janice and Jarvis leave this town, I'm going off with them to Winter Hill. And after that, to whatever place that they will ever go to. I love the two of them so much. And we belong to be together. I love the two of them so much because they are the we of me.
I've been phoning all over town trying to locate you. Where on earth have you been?
Well, everywhere. All over town.
I got a good mind to be serious mad with you. If Papa come home to dinner today, he's mad because you didn't show up, taking a nap up in his room.
I walked up and down Main Street and I stopped in almost every store. Bought my wedding dress and silver shoes. Went around by the mills. Went all over the complete town and I talked to nearly everybody in it.
What for, pray tell me?
Well, I was telling everybody about the wedding and my plans.
You mean just people in the street?
Well, everybody. Storekeepers, a monkey and monkey man, a soldier. Everybody. And do you know the soldier wanted to join with me and asked me for a date this evening? I wonder what you do on dates.
Frankie, I honestly think you done turned crazy on us. Walking all around town and telling total strangers this big tale. Now, you know when you're sold this mania, yours is pure foolishness.
Please call me F. Jasmine. I don't wish to have to remind you any more. Now, everything good of mine has got to be washed and ironed so I can pack it away in my suitcase. Everybody in this town believes I'm going. All except Papa. He's stubborn as an old mule. No use arguing with people like that.
Me and Mr. Addams have some sense.
Papa was bent over working on a watch when I went by the store. But he wouldn't listen to any of my plans. Just sat there with his nose to the grindstone and answered with kind of grunts. He never listens to what I say. Sometimes I wonder if Papa loves me or not.
Oh, certainly he loves you. Just a busy widow man, set in his ways.
Now, I wonder if I can find some tissue paper to line this suitcase.
Set the table. And your dinner's ready. Truly, Frankie, what makes you think they want you tagging along with them? 2 is company and 3 is a crowd. That's the main thing about a wedding. 2 is company and 3 is a crowd.
You wait and see.
You remember back to the time of the flood? You remember Noah and the ark?
And what has that got to do with it?
Remember how he admitted them creatures?
Oh, hush up your old big mouth.
2 by 2. He admitted them creatures 2 by 2.
Well, that's all right. You wait and see. They will take me.
And if they don't?
If they don't, I will kill myself.
Kill yourself? Kill yourself? How?
I will shoot myself in the side of the head with the pistol that Papa keeps under his handkerchiefs next to Mother's picture in the bureau drawer.
Now, you know what Mr. Addams said about playing with that pistol. I have seen many a peculiar thing. I have knew boys to fall in love with women so ugly, you wanted the eyes to set straight.
Who?
I have knew women to love veritable Satans and thank Jesus when they set their split hooves over the threshold. I have knew boys to take it into their head to fall in love with other boys. Yeah. Good Lord, make us thankful for what we're about to receive to nourish our bodies. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir. I have seen many peculiar things in my day. But one thing, never knew, never heard tell about. No, sirree. I never in all my days heard tell of anyone falling in love with a wedding. And thinking it all over, I have come to the conclusion what you ought to be thinking about. A nice little bow. Nice little white boy bow.
I don't want any bow. What would I do with one? Do you mean something like a soldier who could maybe take me down to the idle hour?
Who's talking about soldiers? I'm talking about a nice little white boy bow about your own age. How about that little Barney next door?
Barney McCann? That nasty Barney?
Well, certainly. You can make do with him till somebody better comes along. He would do.
You are the biggest crazy in this town.
The crazy calls the sane the crazy.
Yonder's Bonnie now with Helen Fletcher. They're going to the alley behind the west garage. They do something bad back there. I don't know what it is.
Well, you don't know what it is. How come you know it's bad?
Well, I just know it. I think maybe they look at each other and pee-pee or something. They don't let anybody watch them.
I watched them once.
What do they do?
I saw. They don't pee-pee.
Then what do they do?
I don't know what it was, but I watched them.
Oh, no.
How many of them did you catch, Bernice? Them bows.
How many? How many hairs in this flat candy lamb? You talking to Miss Bernice Sadie Brown?
Well, I think you ought to quit worrying about bows and be content with TT. I'll bet you're 40 years old.
Wise mouth, how come you know so much? I got as much right as anybody else to continue to have a good time as long as I can. As far as that goes, I ain't so old as so many people try to make out. I ain't changed life yet.
Did they all treat you to the picture shows, them bows?
Picture shows or one thing or another. Now here, wipe off your mouth.
The piano tuning man.
Ye gods, I seriously believe that's the last straw.
Me too.
It makes me sad. And jittery, too. They say that when they want to punish the crazy people in Milledgeville, they tie them up and make them listen to piano tuning.
We could turn on the radio and drown them out.
I don't want the radio on. But I advise you to keep the radio on after I leave. Someday you will very likely hear us speak over the radio.
Speak about what, pray tell me?
Well, I don't know exactly about what. Probably some eyewitness account about something. We will be asked to speak.
I don't follow you. Speak, who's going to ask us, what are we going to eyewitness now? Who's going to ask us to speak?
What, Frankie? Who's speaking on the radio? When I said we, you thought I meant you and me and John Henry West to speak over the world radio. I have never heard anything so funny since I was born.
What?
Here.
The clever girl.
What are you son of a bitches mean crossing my yard? How many times must I tell you never to set foot on my papa's property?
Just ignore them. Make like you don't see them pass.
Paul, don't mention those crooks to me.
Why don't you show us that new dress? I'd like to see what you selected. Oh, T.D., what are you doing around here this time of day?
Good afternoon, Miss Bernice.
Hey, Bernice.
John Henry.
Hey, Butch.
I'm here on a sad mission.
What's wrong?
About Sis Laura Thompson.
No vegetable lady?
She suddenly took a stroke and died.
What? She was by here just yesterday. We just ate her peas. They lay in my stomach, and her laying dead on the cooling board this very minute. The Lord works in strange ways.
She passed away at dawn this morning. I'm going around to take up a donation for her funeral. Policy people say her claim is lapsed.
Right here. Here's 50 cents. Oh, soul.
She was spry as a chipmunk to the last. Lord had appointed the time for her. I hope I go that way.
Now, I got something to show y'all. Shut your eyes and don't open them till I tell you. These are the wedding clothes.
Oh, how pretty.
Well, give me your honest opinion. What's the matter, Bernice? Don't you like it?
No. It don't do.
What do you mean it don't do?
Exactly that. It just don't do.
But I don't see what you mean. What's wrong?
Well, if you don't see what I mean, I can't explain to you. Go look at your head there to begin with. You go and shave all the hair off your head like a convict. Then you tie this ribbon around his head with no hair. It looks peculiar.
But I'm gonna wash and try to stretch my hair tonight.
Stretch your hair? How you gonna stretch your hair? And look at them elbows. You got on a grown woman's evening gown and that brown crust on your elbows. The two things just don't mix. Take it back to the store.
The dress is too grown-ified.
But I can't take it back. It's bargain basement.
Come on over here. Let me see what I can do.
I just think you're not accustomed to seeing anybody dressed up.
I'm not accustomed to seeing a human Christmas tree in August.
Frankie's dress looks like a Christmas tree.
Two-faced Judas! You just now said it was pretty! Oh, double-faced Judas! Oh, that piano tuning! Don't you honestly think it's pretty? Give me your candy opinion.
I have never seen anybody so unreasonable in my life. You asked me my candy opinion, and I gave you my candy opinion. You asked me again, and I give it to you again. But what you want is not my honest opinion, but my good opinion about something I know is wrong.
I only want to look pretty.
Well, pretty is as pretty does. Now ain't that right, T.T.?
Mm-hmm.
You look well enough anybody's wedding, except in your own.
Hello, everybody. Now, I don't want you roaming around the streets all morning, not coming home for dinner time. Looks like I'm going to have to tie you up in the backyard.
Well, I had business to tend to. Papa, look!
What is it, Miss Pickle Press?
Sometimes I think you've turned stone blind. You never even noticed my new dress.
Oh, I thought it was a show costume.
Show costume? Papa, why is it you never notice what I have on or pay any serious mind to me? You walk around like a mule with blinders on, not seeing or caring.
Well, never mind about that now. T.T., I need some help down at my store. My porter failed me again. I wonder if you or Honey could give me some time next week.
I will if I can, sir. Mr. Addams, what days would be convenient for you, sir?
I'll say, Wednesday afternoon.
Now, Mr. Addams, that's one afternoon I promised work for Mr. Finney, sir. I can't promise anything, but if he changes his mind about needing me, I'll work for you, sir.
Okay. How about you, Honey?
I ain't got time.
I'll be so glad when this war is over and you biggity, worthless niggers get back to work. And furthermore, you serve me. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I better go back down to the store and get my nose to grindstone. You stay home, Frankie.
Uncle won't call Honey a nigger.
Be quiet now, John Henry. Honey, I could just shake you till you spit, not saying sir to Mr. Addams and acting so impudent.
Well, T.T. said sir enough for a whole crowd full of niggas. But folks that call me a nigger, I got me a real good nigger razor. Nothing, don't you touch this thing, but you're sharp. Liable to hurt yourself.
Why, put off that razor, Satan. I wear myself sick over you. You're gonna die before your opponent span.
Why is Honey a nigger?
Jesus knows.
Just so tensed up. My nerves like they've been Scrape with a razor. Bernice, loan me $1.
I ain't had you no dollar worthers. You get high on them reefer cigarettes?
Come on now, give me Bernice. I'm just so tensed up and miserable. It's a nigger hole. I am sick of smothering in the nigger hole now, and I can't take it no more.
Here. Now here. Here's 30 cents. Now you go buy yourself 2 beers here.
Well, thankful for tiny, infinitesimal favors. I better be dancing off now.
Same here. I still got a good deal of donation visits to make this afternoon.
Well, so long, hon. So long, T.T. Listen, T.T., I'm counting on you for tomorrow, and you too, honey.
Right, yeah. So long.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Oh, Sister Laura. I certainly hope when my time comes, I will have kept up my policy. I dread to think of the church ever have to bury me when I die.
Are you going to die, Bernice?
Oh, Candy, everybody has to die.
Everybody? Are you going to die, Frankie?
I doubt it. I honestly don't think I will ever die.
What is die?
Must be terrible to be nothing but black, black, black.
Yes, baby.
Well, how many dead people do you know? Well, I know 6 dead people in all, not counting my mother.
Lady Maxwell Freeman is dead.
I didn't count Ludi either. It wouldn't be fair, because he died before I was born. Do you think very frequently about Ludi?
You know I do. I think about the 5 years and we had the time together and the bad times I've seen since. Sometimes I almost wish I never knew Ludi at all. Walk home in the evening from work. Sometimes a little lonesome quench come in you. You start to take up with too many sorry men afterwards to try to get over the feeling.
But T.T. isn't sorry.
I wasn't referring to T.T. He's a fine, upstanding colored gentleman who's walked in a state of grace all his life.
When are you going to marry with him?
I ain't going to marry with him.
But you were just now saying how what a fine,
I
upstanding...
was only remarking how sincerely I respect T.T. and sincerely regard T.T. But he don't make me shiver none.
Listen, Bernice.
Yes.
I have something strange to tell you.
What is it?
Something happened to me when I was walking around town today. Now, I don't exactly know how to explain what I mean.
So what is it?
I was walking along, and I passed these 2 stores with an alley in between. The sun was frying hot. And just as I passed this alley, I caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of my left eye. A dark double shape. And this glimpse brought to my mind, so sudden and clear, my brother and the bride, that I just stood there, and I couldn't hardly bear to look to see what it was. It was like they were there in that alley, although I knew they were in Winter Hill, almost 100 miles away. Then I turned slowly and looked. And do you know what was there? It was just 2 colored boys. That was all. But it gave me such a queer feeling.
Look at me. Can you see through the bones in my forehead? Have you, Francis Addams, been reading my mind?
What I
That's
mean
the
to say...
most remarkable thing I ever heard.
But no, you don't know what I'm trying to say.
But I do know what you mean. You mean right here. You suddenly catch something right here. And this cold shiver run all down you. And you whirl around and just stand there, facing Jesus know what. but not Moody. Not who you want. And for a few minutes, you feel like you've been dropped down a deep well.
Yes! That's it!
And that is the most remarkable thing. This is a thing been happening to me all my life. Yet now it's the first time I ever heard it put in words. Yes, that's what love is. A thing known but not spoken.
Yet I always maintained that I never believed in love. I didn't admit it, and I never put it in any of my shows.
I never believed in love.
Now I have to tell you something. And this will be a warning to you. Now you listen to me, John Henry. Listen to me, Frank.
Frank is smoking.
Now I have to tell you. There was no human woman in all the world as happy as I was in them days. And that includes everybody. You listen to me, John Henry. It includes all queens, millionaires, and first ladies of the land. You hear me, Frankie? It includes people of all colors. No human woman was as happy as Bernice Sadie Brown.
The 5 years you were married to Ludi.
From that autumn morning when I first met him on the road in front of Campbell's filling station till the very night he died. November, year 1933.
The very year and the very month I was born.
It was the coldest November I ever seen. Every morning there was frost, and the puddles were crusted with ice. The sunshine was pale yellow like it is in the wintertime. And sounds carried far away. Everything I seen come as this kind of sign.
Well, I think it is a kind of sign that I was born in the same year and the same month that Ludi died.
It was a Thursday. Toward 6 o'clock. About this time of day. Only November. I remember I went to the passage and I opened the front door. Dark was coming on. The old hound dog was howling far away. I went back into the room and lay down on Ludi's bed. I lay myself down over Ludi with my face on his face and my arms spread out. And I prayed the Lord would contage my strength with him. I asked the Lord, let it be anybody, but not let it be Ludi. I lay and I prayed like that for a long time till night.
How? How, Bernice?
At night he died. I tell you, Ludi Freeman, Ludi Maxwell Freeman died.
Seems to me that I feel sadder about Ludi than any other dead person, although I never knew him. I know how to sometimes cry about my mother, or anyhow Granny, but I guess I can't. But Ludi, maybe it's because I was born so soon after he died. But you were starting out to tell some kind of a warning.
A warning? Oh, yes. I was going to tell you how this thing we're talking about applies to me. It was April of the following year when I went to a church where the congregation was strange to me. I had my forehead down on the pew in front of me, and I had my eyes open, not peeping around in secret, mind you, just open. And suddenly, this shiver run through me. I had caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye. I looked slowly to the left, and there on the pew, just 6 inches from my eyes, was this thumb.
What thumb?
Now, I have to tell you, there was only one portion of Ludi Freeman which was not pretty. Every other portion was as handsome and pretty as anybody would wish. all except this right thumb. This one thumb had a mashed chewed appearance, which was not pretty. You understand?
You mean you suddenly saw Ludy's thumb while you was praying?
No. Now, I seen this thumb. And as I knelt there staring at that thumb, I began to pray in earnest. I prayed out loud. Lord, manifest. Lord, manifest.
And did he manifest?
Manifest my foot. Who you think that old thumb belonged to?
Who?
That big old no-good Jamie Beale. First time I ever laid eyes on him.
Is that why you married him? Because he had a mashed thumb like Ludy's?
Lord only knows, child, I don't. But I guess I felt drawn to him on account of the thumb. And one thing after another happened. Next thing you know, I had married him.
Well, I think that was silly, to marry him because of that thumb.
I'm not trying to dispute with you. I'm just trying to tell you how the thing actually happened. And the very same thing happened in the case of Henry Johnson.
You mean to stand there and tell me that Henry Johnson had one of those mashed thumbs too?
No. It wasn't the thumb. It was the coat. Now, when Ludy died, them policy people cheated me out of $50. So I pawned everything I could lay my hands on. I sold my coat and Ludy's coat, because I wasn't going to let them put Ludy away cheap.
Oh, then you mean that Henry Johnson bought Ludy's coat and you married him because of it?
No, not exactly. I was walking down the street one day when this shape appeared in front of me. Now, the shape of this boy in front of me was so similar to Ludy's, through the shoulders, back of the head. I followed. I almost dropped dead there on the sidewalk. So, I followed and I run after him. It was Henry Johnson. He had chance to buy Ludy's coat. Anyhow, that's how I married him.
He's the one that went crazy on you. He had eating dreams and swallowed the corner of his sheets. But I don't understand the point of what you was telling. I don't see how that about Jamie Beale and Henry Johnson applies to me.
Well, Frankie, don't you see what I was doing? I love Ludy. He was the first man I ever loved. What I did was to marry off little pieces of Ludy whenever I come across them. It was just my misfortune they turned out to be the wrong pieces. It was my intention to repeat me and Ludy. Now, don't you see?
Well, I see what you're driving at, but I don't see how it is a warning applied to me.
You don't? But I'm going to tell you. What I see is the saddest piece of foolishness I ever knew. You think you're going to break into that wedding tomorrow, and Lord knows what else. You think you're going to march to the preacher right in between your brother and the bride. What I'm warning now is this. If you take a mania like this, it won't be the last time. What will become of you? Will you be trying to break into weddings the rest of your days?
It makes me sick to listen to people who don't have any sense.
Well, you're just setting this trap to catch yourself in trouble, and you know it.
They will take me. You wait and see.
I've been trying to reason with you seriously, but I see it's no use.
You are just jealous. You are just trying to deprive me of all the pleasure of leaving town. Oh, that sound is driving me wild! You didn't say anything about Willis Rhodes. Did he have a mashed thumb or a coat or something?
Lord, now that was something else.
I only know he stole all your furniture and was so terrible you had to call the law on him.
Well, imagine this. Imagine a cold, bitter January night. Me laying all by myself in this big parlor bed. All by myself because everybody else gone besides the night. past 12 o'clock. Cold, bitter January night. Can you remember wintertime, John Henry? And suddenly comes this slumping sound. And then a tap, tap, tap. So, miss me. Miss me. Oh, yes.
Well, what? What happened?
I wish you would look there. I wish you would look yonder.
What? What happened?
Look at them 2 little pictures and 4 big ears. Come on, children, let's roll out the door for the cookies tomorrow.
Cookies, cookies, cookies.
If it's anything I mortally despise, it's a person who starts out to tell something and works up people's interest and then stops.
Well, I'm sorry, and I admit it. But I just suddenly realized that's one of them things I couldn't tell you and John Henry.
Well, you could have sent him out of the room and told me. But don't think I care a particle about what happened. I just wish Ruth Rhodes had come along about that time and slit your throat.
Oh, quit talking so rude. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Here, John Henry. Here's a scrap of dough. Make yourself a cooking man.
Cookies, cookies, cookies.
I see in the paper where we dropped a new bomb. The biggest one dropped yet. They call it a atom bomb. I intend to take 2 baths tonight. One long soaking bath and scrub with a brush. I'm going to try and scrape this crust off my elbows. Then let out the dirty water and take a second bath.
Hooray, what a great idea. I'll be glad to see you clean for a change.
I will take 2 baths.
Why is it against the law to change your name?
What is that on your neck? I thought you had a head on your neck. Just think, suppose I would suddenly up and start calling myself Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt. And you start naming yourself Joe Louis. And John Henry here tried to pawn himself off as Henry Ford.
Don't talk childish. That's not the kind of changing I mean. I mean from a name that doesn't suit you to a name you prefer. Like I changed from Frankie to F. Jasmine.
Well, that would be a confusion. Suppose everybody suddenly changed to entirely different names. Nobody would know what anybody was talking about. The whole world would go crazy.
I don't see what that has to do with it.
Things accumulate around your name. You have a name, and one thing after another happens, and things have accumulated around your name.
But what's accumulated around my own name? Nothing, see? My name doesn't mean anything. Nothing ever happens to me.
It will. Some will happen.
What?
No. If you pin me down like that, now I can't answer you truthfully. If I could, I wouldn't be sitting in this kitchen, but making a fine living on Wall Street as a wizard. All I know is something's going to happen. Now, what? I don't exactly know.
Until yesterday, nothing ever happened to me.
John Henry, take off my hat, my shoes, and put up my pocketbook. Thank you very much.
Listen, Bernice. Doesn't it strike you strange that I am I and you are you? Like when you're walking down the street and you meet somebody, and you are you and he is him, and you look at each other, and your eyes make a connection. Then you go off one way, and he goes off another. You go off into different parts of town and never see each other again. Maybe never in your whole life. Do you know what I mean?
Not exactly.
Oh, that's not what I meant to say anyway. See, there's all these people here in town that I don't even know by sight or name. And we pass alongside each other, and we don't make any connection. And they don't know me, and I don't know them. And now I'm I'll never know.
Who you want to know?
Everybody. Everybody in the whole world.
Now listen at you. You mean people like Willis Rose? How about them Germans? How about them Japanese?
That's not what I mean. That's not what I'm talking about.
Now what is you talking about?
Let's play out, Frankie.
No, you go. This is what I mean.
What on earth is wrong with you?
Boy, oh man! Man, oh boy! When we leave Winter Hill, we're going to more places than you ever thought about or even knew existed. Alaska, and China, and Iceland, and South America. Traveling on trains, letting her rip on motorcycles, traveling all around the whole world on airplanes. Here today and gone tomorrow, all over the world. It's a damn truth, boy, man! And talking things happening. Things will happen so fast we won't hardly have time to realize them. Captain Jarvis Addams wins highest medals and is decorated by the president. Miss F. Janice Addams breaks all records. Mrs. Janice Addams elected Miss United Nations in a beauty contest. One thing after another happening so fast we won't even hardly have time to notice them.
Hold still, fool.
And when we done, everybody, we'll just walk right up to them and we'll know them right away. We'll be walking down a dark road and we'll see a lighted house and we'll knock on the door. And strangers, Bernice, they'll rush to meet us and they'll say, come in. We'll know, decorated aviators and New York people and movie stars. We'll be members of the whole world. Boy, oh man, oh boy.
No, hold still. You going raving wild. Sit here. Turn around. Sit down. Sit here for a few minutes and rest a while. Now, don't bother Frankie. She ain't bothering you. Leave her alone.
I'm sick.
No, you ain't. Now, don't grudge your cousin a little love, John Henry.
Oh, mean, bossy Frankie.
What's she doing now so mean? Just laying here. Whoa, out.
Today I went to the Blue Moon Cafe, the place the soldiers are so fond of. I met a soldier, a red-headed boy.
What's all this talk about Blue Moon Cafe and soldiers?
Bernice, you treat me like such a child. When I see all these soldiers milling around town, I always wonder where they came from and where they're going.
They were born, and they're gonna die.
There's so many things about the world I do not understand.
If you did understand, you'd be God. Don't you know that?
Maybe so. Anyway, after the wedding, I won't have to worry about things anymore.
You don't have to worry about things now. Nobody requires you to solve the riddles of the world.
It says here in the paper that this new bomb is worth 20,000 tons of TNT.
These figures these days are too high for me. Read the paper the other day where 10 million people killed. I can't crowd that many people in my mind's eye.
Bernice?
Huh?
There's no glass on your mind's eye?
John Henry, don't yank my head back like that. Me and Frank ain't gonna float through the ceiling and leave you.
I wonder if you've ever thought about this. Here we are right now, this very minute now. But while we're talking now, this minute is passing. And it'll never come again. Never in the whole world. When it's gone, it's gone. No power on earth could ever bring it back.
I sing because I'm happy.
Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? For Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. For His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Frankie, you got the sharpest set of human bones I ever felt. Can't see much from this door, but I can see Frank and her face is a study. John Henry chewing at the bubble gum Jarvis bought him. They're crowding in now to kiss the bride. Frankie said she would help you serve.
Well, the way she's been acting, I don't think we can count much on her.
I wish Honey was here. I've been so worried about him since what you told me. I think it's gonna storm. It's a mercy they didn't decide to hold the wedding out in the backyard like they first planned.
I thought I'd better not mince the matter. Honey was in a bad way when I saw him this morning.
Honey Cameron don't have too large a share of judgment as it is. When he get high on them reefer cigarettes, he ain't got the judgment of a 4-year-old child. Remember when he swung at the police and nearly got his eyes beat out?
Not to mention 6 months on the road.
I stay so anxious about him. I got 2 people scouring Sugarville looking for him. God, you took Ludy. But please watch over my Honey Cameron. He's all the family I got.
Frankie behaving this way about the wedding. Poor little creature.
And the sorriest part about it, she's perfectly serious about this foolishness. Is it all over?
Yes. And it was such a pretty wedding, I wanted to cry.
Now, have you told them?
About my plans? No, I haven't yet told them.
Well, you better hurry up because they're leaving the house right after the refreshments.
Oh, I know it. But something just seems to happen to my throat. Every time I try to tell them, different words come out.
What words?
I asked Janice how come she didn't marry with a veil. I'm so embarrassed. Here I am all dressed up in this tacky evening dress. Why didn't I listen to you? I'm so ashamed.
Now, don't take everything so strenuous.
I'm going out there now and tell them.
Frankie sure gave me a lot of presents when she was packing her suitcase. Bernice, she gave me all the beautiful show costumes.
Well, I wouldn't set too much store by them. Come tomorrow morning, she'll be demanding right back again.
She even gave me the shuffles of bed.
Well, they're all complimenting the wedding cake, drinking the wine punch.
What's Frankie doing? When she left the kitchen a few minutes ago, she said she's going to tell her. I wonder how they're going to take this total surprise. I got a feeling you get just before a big thunderstorm. You tell them?
There are all the family around, and I can't seem to tell them. I wish I'd written it down on the typewriter beforehand. I try to tell them, and the words just die.
The words just die because the very idea is so silly.
I love the two of them so much. And Janice put her arms around me and said she'd always wanted a little sister. And then she kissed me. She asked me again what grade I was in school. That's the third time she's asked me that. In fact, that's the main question I've been asked at this wedding.
I'm upset. Nothing's going right.
Jarvis was out in the street seeing about the car I borrowed for the wedding. And I followed him out and I tried to tell him. But just as I was reaching the point, he suddenly grabbed me and lifted me up by the elbows and sort of swung me. He said, Frankie the lanky, the alligator Frankie, the tea-legged, toe-legged, bow-legged Frankie. And he gave me $1 bill.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know what to do. I have to tell them, and yet I don't know how to.
Well, maybe when they get settled, they're going to ask you to come and visit with them.
Oh, no. I'm going with them.
Goodbye, Grandma leaving. Uncle Ross taking the suitcase to the car.
Goodbye, Bernice. Goodbye, John Henry. Farewell, old ugly kitchen.
Has come into you. Why, I've never seen such an exhibition in my entire life. Bernice, take charge of her.
They put old Frankie out of the wedding.
Well, just never mind now, John Henry. Just, leave Frankie alone. What makes you want to leave your old papa like that? Now, you got Janice and Jarvis all upset on their wedding day.
Oh, I love them so.
Here they come now, sugar. Be reasonable.
Hey, Frankie. We come to say goodbye. Sorry you're taking it this way.
Frankie, when we're settled, we want you to come for a nice visit with us. Darling, we don't have any place to live. Won't you tell us goodbye now?
We. When you say we, you mean you and Jarvis, and I'm not included.
Please, darling, don't make us unhappy on our wedding day. You know we love you.
See? We. When you say we, I'm not included, and it's not fair.
Frankie, when you come for a visit, you must write beautiful plays, and we'll all act in them. Come on, Frankie. Don't hide your sweet face from us now. Sit up. Bye, Frankie, darling.
So long now, kiddo.
Take me! Take me!
They put Frankie out of the wedding.
Don't tease your cousin now, John Henry.
It was a frame-up all around.
Don't bother about it. It's all over. Cheer up.
I wish the whole world would die.
You know, school's gonna begin in about 3 weeks. And you'll meet another friend like Evelyn Owens you're so wild about.
I'm sick, Bernice.
No, you ain't. Now,
It hurts.
John Henry, run along. I don't have the patience to fool with you now.
My heart feels so cheap.
You know, as soon as school starts and you have a chance to meet these new friends here, I think it would be a great idea to give a party.
Oh, these baby promises rasp on my nerves.
You could call the society editor of the Evening Journal and have the party written up in the paper. Make the 4th time your name's been published in the paper.
When my bike ran into that automobile, the paper called me Frankie Addams, F-A-N-K-I-E.
Don't cry, Frankie. This evening, we could put your TP and have a good time.
Oh, hush up your mouth.
Now you listen to me. You tell me what you would like, and I'll try to do it if it's in my power.
All I wish in the world is for no human being ever to speak to me as long as I live.
Well, ball then, misery.
Well, looks like the show's over and the monkey's dead.
You think it's over, but it's not.
You want to come down to the store with me tomorrow and help out? Polish some silver with that chamois rag? Why, I'll even let you play with those old watch springs.
That's my suitcase I packed. If you think it's over, that only shows how little you know. If I can't go with my brother and the bride as I was meant to leave this town, I'm going anyway. Somehow, anyhow, I'm leaving here. I can't stand this existence, this kitchen, this town any longer. I'll hop a train and go to New York. Or else ride to Hollywood and get a job there. If worse comes to worse, I could act in comedies. Or I could dress up like a boy and join the Merchant Marines and run away to sea. Somehow, anyhow, I'm leaving here. Please, Papa, don't try to capture me.
Uncle Roll, Frankie's got your pistol in his suitcase.
Frankie!
Yeah, run and catch him. Run and catch him. Run, y'all.
Uncle Roll, my daddy is chasing on our car. Something scares me, Bernice.
Come over here. Ain't nothing gonna bother you.
You think they're gonna catch him?
Oh, certainly. We'll be bringing her back directly. I got such a headache. Maybe my eye socket. All these troubles.
I've got a headache, too.
Nah, no, you
I'm
ain't.
sick, Bernice.
No. No, you ain't. Now run along, Candy. Bernice don't have the time to fool with you.
Bernice!
Nothing. There's nothing now. Just the lights went out.
I'm scared.
And you stand still now. I'm gonna light a candle.
What makes the lights go up so scary like this?
Oh, just one of them things.
I'm scared.
Well,
Where's Honey?
oh, Jesus knows. You know, Bernice is scared too. Honey all snow crazy, loose like this. Frankie run off. The Papa's suitcase. The pistol. I feel like every nerve has been just knocked out of my body. Oh.
Want to listen to the ocean?
Come here, baby. Come on.
never was a believer in corporal punishment. Never spanked Frankie in my life. But when I lay my hands on her...
She'll show up soon. But I know what you mean. What with Honey, John Henry's sickness, and Frankie, I never lived such an anxious night.
Well, I better go see what the last word on John Henry is. Poor baby.
Francis Addams, you ought to be skinned alive. I've been so worried.
Well, I've been so worried, too.
Now, where have you been? Now, listen, you tell me everything.
I will, but quit shaking me.
I want the E&Z of this.
When I was running around the dark, scary streets, I suddenly realized that all my plans for Hollywood and the Merchant Marines were child plans that wouldn't work. I hid in the alley behind Papa's store, and it was dark and I was scared. I opened up my suitcase and I took out Papa's pistol. I vowed I was going to shoot myself. I said I was going to count to 3, and then on 3 pull the trigger. So I counted. 1, 2, but I didn't count 3. Because at the last minute I changed my mind.
Well, you march on in the house. You going to bed.
Honey Camden!
Oh, honey! Oh,
You okay?
honey! Oh, honey!
Shh. Now, don't make any noise now. The lawyer's after you.
You tell me.
Mr. Wilson wouldn't serve me. So I drew my raise on him.
You killed him.
I didn't have no time to find out. I've been running all night.
Lightfoot, if you drew a razor on a white man, you better not let them catch you.
Here's $6. Now you go to Fort Falls and then Atlanta. Now you be careful. Slip into the white folks section. They'll be combing the county looking for you. Oh.
Now, don't you cry, Bernice.
Oh, I feel the rope.
Bernice, don't you dare cry. See, now, I know now. All my days have been leading to this minute. There's no more boy this. There's no more boy that. No bowing, no screaming. For the first time, I'm free. And it makes me happy.
But if they catch you, they're going to string you up.
Let them hang me. I don't care. I tell you now, I'm glad. I tell you, I am happy. Oh, no.
Honey, remember you on Lightfoot. Nothing can stop you if you want to run away.
What was all that racket? John Henry is critically ill. He's got to have perfect quiet.
John Henry's sick, Aunt Pat?
The doctors say he has meningitis. He's got to have perfect quiet.
I didn't get a chance to tell you. Yesterday after John Henry took sick sudden last night. Yesterday afternoon when I said my head hurt, he complained he had a headache too, and thinking how he copies me, I said, run along now, because I ain't got the patience to fool with you. It's like a judgment is on me. Ain't gonna be no more noise, Miss West.
See to that.
Bernice, what can we do?
Ain't nothing we can do. Just wait.
The wedding, Honey and John Henry. So much has happened, my brains can't hardly gather it in. Now, for the first time, I really realize the world is certainly a sudden place.
Sometimes sudden. But when you're waiting like this, it seems so slow.
seems so hollow now that the furniture's packed. It gives me a creepy feeling in front. That's why I came back here.
Is that the only reason you came back here?
Oh, Bernice, you know. I wish you hadn't given quit notice just because Pop and I are moving into a new house with Aunt Pat and Uncle Eustace out in Limewood.
I admire and respect Mrs. West, but I could never work for her.
Mary is just beginning this Rachmaninoff concerto. She may play it for her debut when she's 18 years old. Mary playing the piano and the whole orchestra playing at one and the same time, mind you. Awfully hard.
Mary, Little John.
I don't see why you always have to speak her name in a tinged voice like that.
Have I ever said anything against her? I just said she's too lumpy and marshmallow white and makes me nervous sitting there sucking on them pigtails.
Great. Furthermore, it is no use our discussing a certain party. You can never possibly understand it. It's just not in you.
Well, be it as it may. Let us not fuss and quarrel this our last afternoon.
Well, I don't want to fuss either. Anyway, this isn't our last afternoon. Well, I'll come and see you often.
No, you won't, honey. You'll have other things to do. Already your road is strange to me.
You still have the fox fur that Louie gave you. Somehow this little fur seems so sad. So thin and with a sad little fox-wise face.
Got every reason to be sad. What was happened the last 2 months? Honey Camden gone. John Henry, my little boy, gone.
You did all you could. You got poor Honey's body and you gave him a Christian funeral. And you nursed John Henry.
Well, it's just the way that Honey died. The fact that John Henry had to suffer so. Poor little soul.
It's peculiar, the way it all happened so fast. First, Honey caught and hanging himself in jail. Then later in that same week, John Henry died. And then I met Mary. As the irony of fate would have it, we first got to know each other in front of the lipsticks and cosmetics counter at Woolworth's. And it was the week of the fair.
The most beautiful September I ever seen. Countless white and yellow butterflies flying around them autumn flowers. Honey gone. My little boy, John Henry, gone. Daisies, golden weather, butterflies. Such strange death weather.
I never believed John Henry would die. Don't it seem quiet to you in here? When I was a little child, I used to believe that out under the arbor at night there would come 3 ghosts, and one of the ghosts wore a silver ring. Occasionally when it gets so quiet like this, I have a strange feeling. It's like John Henry is hovering somewhere in this kitchen, solemn looking and ghost gray.
Frankie! Frankie!
Yes, Barney?
Is Mary there?
It's Barney McKeon. Not yet. I'm meeting her at 5. Come on in, Barney, won't you?
Just a minute.
Barney puts me in mind of a Greek god.
What? Barney put you in the mind of a what?
Of a Greek god. Mary remarked that Barney reminded her of a Greek god.
Looks like I don't understand a thing you say anymore.
Well, you know, those old-timey Greeks worship those Greek gods.
What's that got to do with Barney?
On account of the figure.
Come on in, Greek god Barney. I saw your name chalked up on the sidewalk.
ML loves BM. If I could find out who wrote it, I'd rub it out with their faces. Did you do it, Frankie?
Why, I wouldn't do a kid thing like that. I even resent you asking me. Resent you asking me.
Mary can't stand me anyhow.
She can too stand you. I'm her most intimate friend, I ought to know. In fact, she's told me several lovely compliments about you. Mary and I are riding over to the new house on the moving van. Would you like to go?
Sure.
Okay. You'll have to ride back with the furniture because Mary and I are riding on the front seat with the driver. I got a letter from Janice and Jarvis this afternoon. Jarvis is with the occupation forces in Germany, and they took a vacation trip to Luxembourg. Luxembourg. Bernice, don't you think that's a lovely name?
It's kind of a pretty name, but it reminds me of soapy water.
Mary and I will most likely pass through Luxembourg when we are going around the world together.